Hi, thanks for coming back to Talk with TQ. I love it when you come and visit. And I also love it when I have a guest that is just something that no one else has done. I like to be the first to interview my guests, especially the real special ones. I'll ask a question. Have you ever done something that you regretted and you just can't change it? You know, I think this happens to a lot of people. Most recently in our society, tattoos have become pretty much in vogue. It's unusual not to have any. Well, a lot of times people get a tattoo and they regret it because you really don't like that chick anymore. Or you love your mother, but you love your girlfriend. Or, whatever. You want to change the slate. Well, I'm going to interview a young woman who actually owns a company with her husband that is called Clean Slate. Clean Slate. And what they do is they can correct those mistakes you made so many years ago by completely removing that tattoo. So I'm welcoming to the show Mary Garnett. Hi.
Hi, Toni.
How are you?
Good.
So Clean Slate. I have a clean slate. I'm like a tattoo virgin. I have nothing on my body that is permanent except for those occasional scars and those little nicks and crannies and those wrinkles that we can't have any control over. How did you get involved in removing tattoos?
About 20 years ago, I used to work for a dermatologist who had one of the very first tattoo removal lasers, and I was his guinea pig. And it worked. It was painful, it give you raw wounds. And then about 8 years ago, Jeff, my husband, started getting tattoo removal, and the technology had come so far that we started researching it, and eventually I went to school for a few different places, and we found the best laser out there, and it's the most amazing stuff.
So tell me about the laser and why it works specifically for tattoos. Is it a specific amount of, what do they call laser units?
This one's called the PicoSure. It's
the PicoSure.
PicoSure. It's made by Sure, and it's the latest and greatest technology. It literally has made tattoo removal take less than half the treatments of the current technology that's out there. It's been out for about 1.5 years. There's only 40 machines in the whole country.
Oh, wow.
They're really expensive, but they're amazing. They go picoseconds, which is a trillionth of a second. So it's a really short wavelength, which is able to, it pretty much breaks up the ink into dust-sized pieces.
Wow.
And then your body absorbs it and flushes it out.
Wow, so your body will absorb that ink.
Yeah.
But in a different form.
Well, right, so what's happening is it hurts a lot when you get a tattoo removed, but it's super fast. So ultimately what's happening is it's like pressure waves, it's like an earthquake under your skin.
Okay.
So it breaks the ink up into, the tattoo lives in the second layer. It breaks up the ink into like dust to sand-sized pieces. It then makes its way through the third layer. And your lymphatic system, which is your body's natural filter, flushes it out.
Okay.
So it makes it small enough for your body to get rid of, to eliminate. From the second you get a tattoo, your body's trying to get rid of it because it's a foreign object.
Oh, see, a lot of people don't know that.
Right, which is why over time they fade. Between the sun and your body trying to get rid of it, the older the tattoo is, the easier it is to get off.
Oh, that's interesting. So if you get some old, veteran, Navy veteran coming in with a big anchor and battleship on his chest.
Exactly.
Right? Which is a good look. I'm not saying anything against them. I actually enjoy looking at tattoos, even though I don't have them. Yeah. They might say, my wife doesn't like it, or it's just not cool.
Or they bleed and they start to, look like a blob.
I mean, the ink bleeds.
The ink starts to bleed, It doesn't hold its form, And nowadays, the tattoo industry has improved so much. The technique has changed, the ink has changed. You can literally get a portrait and it looks like a portrait, and they want a clean slate. They want to start over. They want a better tattoo.
Right.
So a lot of the removals that I do are so people can get new ones on top of them. And they can actually get what they want. Because if you don't get it removed, you literally have to get a tattoo that's 3 or 4 times the size of the existing tattoo in order to cover it. Cover-ups are extremely difficult.
Right, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So the laser treatments, you said they were painful.
They are, but they're
Yeah.
super fast.
Okay, so how long is a normal treatment?
Generally speaking, on average, probably less than 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 2 minutes of pain. Well, 2 minutes of pain is 2 minutes of pain.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. Well, I hear that, I haven't had a tattoo, but I hear that receiving a tattoo, having one put on, is somewhat painful as well.
It is, but that's part of, if you talk to people who have several tattoos, who are addicted to them,
Yeah.
as I am one of them,
Yeah,
I mean, I've sat for 5.5 hours with no problem.
with no problem.
Right.
Yeah,
So lasering myself for 30 seconds is nothing.
right.
You know.
So you've had some taken off of you as well. Like what kind, you don't have to tell me every detail, but you've had tattoos removed, like people's names or?
Well, I actually do it, honestly, just to test the lasers out of myself. I'm my own guinea pig. I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing better, you know,
Then you
than
can
that.
empathize with your
Right, and
with
I can,
your
when they say,
client.
how does it feel, I can really tell them. And they say, what's the recovery like? I know from experience what it's like, you know. It also gives them a little faith that it's not going to be that bad if I could actually do it to myself.
Right, exactly. And also, you're doing them, and your husband's not doing them.
No.
So, and I guess if you come walking in, because you're like a very tiny, petite person,
Yeah.
how bad could it be?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to portray to them.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess a lot of your clientele are like these big, burly men.
Most of my clientele is women.
Oh, really?
Because women are more likely to go through with it because it's a process. I mean, it's not something, you need patience for tattoo removal. It's
Okay.
not something that can be rushed. The more time in between treatments, the better results you get in the long run.
Oh, okay.
You want your skin to really heal before you hit it with the laser again.
Right, okay.
Because the disruption, it's disruption of tissue.
It surprises me that you say that people will get another tattoo put on top of it after having it removed.
Well, I literally probably have 4 or 5 guys that are in my office every other week. Where we work on different tattoos every time they come in.
Oh, okay.
I mean, one guy literally has them from his knuckles to his neck.
Okay.
Oh, he's covered in them.
Oh, I think I saw that guy at my gym. Yes.
So he
I
comes
did.
in and he goes, Mary, give me a mirror and a pen. And this is what we're going to remove today. And that's what we do.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, I mean, you build relationships.
Yeah,
They
I
have to trust you. It's such a personal thing. You're so close to them. You're hurting them. You have to make them feel comfortable
Yeah.
and make them laugh a little bit, you know, make it the best it can be for what it is.
So what is the age range as far as, you know, who you'll treat? Is there, I guess the person has to be at least 18 years old or have parental consent.
So I've had as young as 14 with parental consent.
Okay.
And I think my oldest, I want to say, is 63.
Okay.
Yeah, but those are the best ones to get off.
Yeah,
They're so old.
the old
The
ones.
tattoos are so, and they started improving the ink about 7 or 8 years ago. So before that, the ink wasn't as great. You know,
Right.
there's 250 kinds of ink out there. They're not regulated by the FDA. We have
they're
no
not.
idea what's in the skin. We have no idea how deep the tattoo artist put it. You know, so there's a lot of
Yeah.
variables involved. So guesstimating a number is very difficult.
Well, it's interesting, you know, if you go for an MRI, you know this, or any kind of X-ray, or an MRI especially, they ask you if you have tattoos.
Yeah.
So there must be some kind of metal in that ink.
I'm not sure. I don't think there is metal in ink. No. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah, I wonder, because I know that certain colors of paint, like, you know, have different properties, and they have to do
Right.
with usually some kind of earthly elements.
It might be.
You know, so
Yeah.
some paints, as a painter, some paints are more expensive than others. Some colors are more expensive
Same
than
thing
others.
with tattoo ink.
Okay, so
You know, so you could get a bottle that's $250. That ink's coming right out.
Yeah.
If someone, you know, if a more reputable artist does it and the bottle costs $20, it's going to be sturdier, it's going to last longer, be more vibrant,
Yeah.
and be harder for me.
harder for you.
Yeah, you know.
And more painful for the client.
Yeah, ultimately what's hurting is the ink exploding.
Oh, so the ink actually, you go in there and it just
It bypasses the first, so there's no broken skin.
Okay.
So you're bypassing that first layer, and what's causing the pain is the actual ink exploding.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
It worked though, and I mean it's not permanent anymore. You know.
Yeah. So I guess the removal takes about as long as it takes to actually put the ink on.
No.
No, it takes shorter.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, this took 5.5 hours. It would probably take
That's beautiful one.
maybe 5 minutes to laser it.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
That's the dog and your son.
Yes.
Oh, so you leave that on forever?
Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
Do you ever add color to it? You know?
I probably won't,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Yeah, he looks just like you. I see. He's a big kid now.
Yes, he is.
I remember him when.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so you're doing that. Now tell me what your who your clientele are. Like you said, there are a lot of women.
Yes.
And what kind of tattoos are they removing?
Mostly names. Stars. But, you know, they didn't come out the way they wanted it. It's not in the location they wanted it. You know, they got one on their arm and now it's too visible. They don't like it.
Yeah.
You know, I get a lot of kids that, you know, their mom's dragging them in by their elbow.
Right.
Get this off my kid. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Marines. I work with one of the recruiters in town, and they can't have them below their elbow or above their collarbone.
Okay.
So I give those guys a huge discount, so they're able to afford it to be able to get into the Marines.
Right.
I mean, these kids are trying to change their lives. So, you know, actually one of them works for me now.
Oh,
which is
really?
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. See, you never know.
Yeah. So I'm a part of a program called Fresh Start. It's for ex-gang members. Same thing. Hands anywhere visible. So if they're going for a job interview, you know, I do a lot of faces with those guys. Face, necks, hands.
And they have those special gang colors. They'll have them removed.
The colors, I don't even know what half of them mean. But a lot of them have the teardrops or writing on their face and, you know, weird symbols on their hands. So I remove those for free.
So what's the boxer that got the tattoo on his face?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I can't
I
think of his
know,
name.
Mike Tyson.
Yes, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he did that, I'm wondering if he regrets it.
Yeah. Well, I could remove it.
Yeah, you
without
should
a
call him
problem.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And tell him.
He'll say, yeah, I'm going to take this off.
Yeah.
You know, get rid of it. No, he'll come and get me. No, that was my voice. Not his. It's all right.
It's the same.
It's the same. Yeah, it is. It is. It's very much the same. Yeah.
Hilarious.
I'm just imagining like the people have done things to their bodies that sometimes make you laugh and cry. What's the saddest case?
This is really the saddest case. Is I have a 15-year-old girl who, when she was 13, was abducted by a gang. She was drugged, and they tattooed their signia all over her back.
All over her back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel bad lasering anybody.
Yeah.
You know, you're here, you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart to laser this girl. She's this little tiny thing. She's 15 years old.
Yeah.
And it hurts. I mean, you know, I spend as much time as she needs, and it's brutal.
I can imagine. Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. That's a terrible thing for something like that. I can imagine. And then I know that a lot of people that have done prison time often come back with tattoos on them. I've heard about these things, and you know, I'm wondering if those people come to you.
I have a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those generally, depending on what they make the ink with, anything oil-based is not coming out because it reflects the laser.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, those are easier to get out because it's, you know, they make it out of shampoo and ash and, you know, pen ink and stuff like that.
So you don't really know when you're going in there what this ink is made of.
But I always warn them. You know, if there's anything oiled, I'm not going to be able to help you.
Yeah.
That technology's not here yet.
If there's oil in the paint, you mean?
Yeah. If there's oil in the ink, it's not coming out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if the new inks put oil in them so they don't come out?
Oh, they come out. It might just take a little longer.
Yeah.
I mean, the newer the tattoo is, the deeper it is, the more ink that's in there, the longer it's going to take. You know, you see a solid tribal.
Yeah.
They generally take longer than a name, just for argument's
Right.
sake. You know.
Yeah, we have some before and after pictures that the audience will see as well.
Okay.
You know, and I'm really quite fascinated
It's amazing.
by like that.
Yeah.
And you know, I've never seen all of your tattoos.
Right.
You know, but I know that Jeff had told me that he had I think on his arm or something. It was a complete tattoo, and you would never think it looks like fresh, virgin skin.
Yes.
And almost you get the feeling the skin looks a little better than it did in the first place.
Yeah, it can also, it can break up any scar tissue. It can also, if it's done incorrectly, can cause scar tissue. So it's a very fine line. You really have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
So is it a heat generated type of laser?
This particular machine it has a little bit of heat, but it more uses more pressure waves, sound waves. It's like an earthquake.
Okay.
The ND Q switches, which is what 90% of the people use for tattoo removal, are heat-based.
Okay.
It's almost like, you know, when you're in the sun, you're wearing a black T-shirt, and it absorbs the heat.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So you use a clear laser for black ink,
Okay.
the ink is getting absorbed by the laser and shatters the ink.
Oh, wow.
But it shatters it into like pebble-sized pieces, where the
Okay.
new machine is more like sand or dust.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is the technology, I imagine, is to help the comfort of the client.
The comfort in you would need less treatments. It does hurt a tiny bit less
Yeah.
because it's not as much heat, so you don't feel as much burning. But in terms of how many treatments you need,
Right.
it's definitely everyone's in a rush to get their tattoos
Yeah.
off. It's very rare that you find somebody that's like, yeah, I'll wait as long as you want me to. They all want to come back in every 4 weeks.
Get it done.
Get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah.
So-
And you're saying you use the word painful,
Yeah.
and heat. I guess, it is what it is. And so do you have plans to open other shops and train people? And
I actually do. I'm thinking my next location might be in Nyack. I'm not 100%.
Okay.
But, we might get some spillover from Jersey.
Jersey.
That's what I'm hoping for.
We'll forgive you for that. We will.
You got to get business wherever you can.
Yeah, well, the Jersey. Oh, well, nothing against Jersey, of course, but I'm just saying.
Well, in Jersey, every state has different regulation.
Yeah.
And in New Jersey, a doctor has to do it.
Oh, okay.
So it costs 10 times more.
Right.
So I can be more reasonable because I'm not a doctor.
You're
But it's
not
all I do. It's my specialty. I do it all day,
Yeah.
every day.
And you
6
seem-
days a week.
And you seem, no worse for the wear. You seem happy about
Oh,
it.
I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So you probably have people just like clamoring to get in there.
I mean, it's finally, like I'm having word of mouth. It's great. I really love it.
Do you ever see like a beautiful tattoo and you just hate to take it off?
Yes.
It's so pretty.
It does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a guy who's trying to get into security, and he has a brand new tattoo. And he's so pissed about having it off. But
Why
it's
does he have to have it off?
because it's really high level security, and he can't
Oh.
have any identifying marks on his body.
Yeah.
So,
You don't think about that when you get it done.
Well, he's retired. He's retired NYPD. So I guess he figured, I'm done. I can get my tattoos now. And now he's going to start doing this. So I feel bad
Yeah.
taking it off.
Yeah. Then there's that whole thing about if you're Jewish, you can't get buried in a Jewish cemetery with a
Yes.
tattoo. Do you ever have those people come in?
I do, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For
I have a few
religious-
of them.
Yeah.
And they're, they changed their mind. They were young when they got them. They rethink it. They don't want it anymore.
Yeah, they become somewhat more attached to their religious background.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's a Star of David, you can't.
No, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you can't get in that
no.
graveyard.
No.
Oh well. C'est la vie, mon
Yeah.
ami. No, it's not funny, but it is.
Yeah, it is kind of.
It is kind of
Yeah.
funny, yeah.
I mean, I have every gamut. You name it. I have soccer moms,
Yeah. What's the most embarrassing tattoo that someone's had?
The most embarrassing? Well, this kid was the most embarrassed I've seen. He